Hey guys, sorry if it was lagging out there. It was still trying to connect to the house's Wi-Fi. So I'm working on this. It was originally going to be a knife, but I had too many issues with the piece of Damascus, so I think I'm going to turn it into an herb chopper. You can see the pattern there. I'll turn it into an herb chopper by curling this handle around, this tane around, turn it into a handle. I'll take this point down and round it. You can roll it on your chopping board. This is actually the first piece of Damascus out of the batch I'm doing. I never finished the knife. I'm thinking now I should probably finish the knives because I got so much steel made. Nobody's buying the steel like I thought they would. Here's the other piece I was working on. Shape's a little weird. I gotta refine it more, and I was having issues with the thicknesses on both these pieces. Or I couldn't keep it exactly the same thickness, so I'm trying to go back over and fix that right now. And then for anybody who was watching the stream yesterday, piece of steel I was working on, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. I lose track of time sometimes. But 11-pound bar of steel is now 9 pounds without the canister on it. But that's how big it is. So I'm going to go through and grind out all the cracks. There's nothing too serious except for one. Let me see if I can find it real. Yeah, I think that's it. Or is it that one? I think underneath the scale there's a crack like right here that runs from both sides. So I'll cut that all the way through it, just cut it off. I stopped forging it because it got too long to fit in my forge anymore. But I'm going to forge it all the way down all the way down to 1/8 of an inch. So right now that's probably about 5/8 of an inch. I'm going to forge it down to 1/8, and you can see the ball bearings in some of the spots. See the pattern it's going to have. So I did 2 different sizes, and I made layers out of it, one after another. When I get it down to size, down to 1/8 of an inch, I'm going to sandblast it, surface grind it, and then mark out the shape to cut a bunch of whittling knives, chef's knives, and fillet knives out of this. So that's my main audience, woodworkers and fishermen. And chef's knives seem to sell well, so I'm going to try to make all 3 out of this one piece of steel. 9 pounds, we'll see if I can get 10 or 20 knives out of it. Hey, Pacific. I have probably about 100 pounds of bandsaw blades. They're meant for cutting steel, but I got about 100 pounds of bandsaw blades that I'm gonna make Damascus out of when I'm done with this project. Gary's metal detecting. I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Thanks for joining in. Sorry, that was my little spiel to explain what I'm doing. And that was long-winded. And then also, if you guys are interested, so shoots. You guys ever worked with any ironwood? These are 2 slabs of ironwood. And then I'm going to put those on this leaf spring sax or however you want to say it, a Viking knife. Everybody says it different. I haven't found out the proper way yet. Or I haven't, I forgot. But that's what I'm going to do with that. This one's just about done. The reason I'm not excited about this one is because in heat treat I had it too thin. Come on, focus. I had it too thin in heat treat. I got a nasty warp in it. And I had no material to fix it, and no matter how much I pounded on it, I couldn't straighten that out. So I'm gonna finish it, but I don't know who's gonna buy a warped knife. Feels really good in the hand. Well, thanks for joining in, Gary's. I hope you subscribe and I hope you enjoy the content, most importantly. Lanner Knives? I'm not sure I've heard of him, but I'm not that good with names, whether it's bands, knife makers. I'm not good with names. Yeah, yeah, it's supposed to be really hard wood. And then I got this one. I just gotta finish putting the edge on it. I've had it for a while. It's an athame or a witch's knife made out of file. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm making two of these. This Damascus wasn't made by me, it was made in Alabama. And this is stabilized maple burl with red dye in it. Trying to make two of these. Kind of like a half full tane, so it's a full tane, but it's only half length. I'm gonna sink it in a little further. I want to make just a short little copper or brass guard for it, for both of them. Yeah, I got two of these I'm working on. This one also warped in heat treat, and I cut out the part that warped, and I gotta just finish shaping it now that it's a different shaped knife and make the handle smaller. But this will be some kind of large fantasy fillet knife, I guess. I don't know. At some point when I feel like finishing it. Probably won't be for a long time. But yeah, the one I'm working on now, I just gotta try to even out the thickness running down it, straighten it out a bit, maybe start some bevels on it. Like I said, I'm gonna curve the tane around to be a handle for an herb chopper. Oh, good night. Good night, Hemi. Hope you have a good one. Thanks for joining in. Jen, welcome in. Hope you enjoy the content. Thank you, Shoops. $20 people here. Well, let's not kill the audience. Starting to get pretty hot though. Can't really hold it. But you can still see the pattern sticking through up here when the light hits it right. I'm going to do a little bit on this one while I wait for that one to cool down. Thanks, Jen. Thank you. David. Good morning, David. How are you doing? Glad you could be here. sorry guys, you gotta give me a minute. I can't feel my fingers. All that fast moving air out in this cold garage. Here's how cold it is. That's just my breath. I can't feel anything. Damon, how's it going? Thanks for being here, dude. Oh, I need a heater out here. I have no heater and no insulation. Show you guys around a bit, but like, my hands have to be out of my pockets. Just give me a second. I'll show you some stuff if you guys want. If there's anybody here that's interested that wasn't here earlier, I can show you what I've been working on. Again, I'm just giving my hands a minute to warm up. All right. David, are you tying flies right now? What are you up to? It's usually what you're doing when you're watching the stream. How are your plans going for moving out of Hawaii? All right. So, this is the piece I was working on the other day. Started off as 19 pounds, or sorry, not 19, 11 pounds. And now it's down to 9 pounds. You can see the ball bearings in there, the pattern that it will have when it's cleaned up and etched. It'll look like these other pieces with the ball bearing pattern. This one hopefully will be tighter grouped than my last ones. See the large balls up there and the small ones down here? So I gotta go through this and grind out all the cracks. Shouldn't be too bad. I don't think they run very deep. They're just surface level. And then there's one down here that I think might have gone all the way through. If it did, I'll just cut the bar there. I'll just cut it clean off. And then I'm going to forge it down to 1/8 of an inch. So this is about 5/8 of an inch. Forge it down to 1/8 of an inch. I stopped forging because it got too long to fit in the forge anymore. When it's down to 1/8 of an inch, hopefully it'll be... I'm aiming for 4 inches wide. We'll see if I actually reach it. I think right now we're probably at 3 or 3.5 inches wide. I didn't actually measure it. Maybe 3 1/4. But once I draw it down, I'll sandblast it, surface grind it, and then mark in a bunch of blade designs for whittling knives, chef's knives, and filleting knives. And cut hopefully 10 or 20 knives out of this 1 bar of steel. And get them done real quick, batch style. And get them posted for sale. I gotta make some money, or else I gotta get a job, and I don't want a job. Please don't make me get a job. I'll show this real quick. I'm almost done with that, but I'm just upset with it because it's got a real nasty warp I was unable to fix in any way. But besides that, I really like this knife. Yeah, I won't go through the process of showing all the ones again, but I got a bunch of knives out here I've been working on. and I'm out here freezing in the cold. Even though it'll be 50 degrees tomorrow, it's 20 degrees tonight, so can't feel my hands. Because when that thing's spinning at several thousand RPM, that air is coming off, however many miles per hour. Really takes the heat out of your fingers. Oh, I should probably plug you guys in real fast. I got the charger right here. I'll do that. So it says there's 27 of you in here. Where are you guys all from? What are you guys up to? Let me know you're a real human and not just a bot if you're in here. And its charger's pulling the phone off to the side. Doesn't want to straighten up. Nothing much. Where are you from, Billy? Jen, you said you're from North Dakota? And David, I don't know if David's still here. He's from Hawaii. Oh, nice. What kind of paracord stuffs? Hey, Shoops, if you're still awake, let me know and I'll show you my wood lathe. If you're not awake, I'll just leave the camera where it is. I haven't got to use my wood lathe yet, but I really want to. All right, I got a couple of friends in South Carolina. I think I have one friend in North Carolina. I'm not sure whereabouts. Sorry for the delayed guys. I'll be back to work in just a second. Okay, let's do this. I don't know if you're still here or not, but let me know and I'll still show you that lathe if you want to see it. But I think we're looking quite a bit better now. We got a few wonky spots. It's pretty close. I wasn't paying enough attention to this side, but this side we're looking pretty good. This side won't matter because we're going to bevel it anyways. Looks like it might be a little thick up here. Sorry, I gotta step off the camera to see what I'm looking at. Lighting in here's not the best. Alright, let's go at it again. Get even closer. Alright, Billy. Okay, other Billy. I'll show you the lathe real quick. Hope you're still awake. Hope I didn't miss out too many times. But it's got the $10 sticker. I forget if I paid 10 or 5. I think I paid the full 10 at the garage sale because there were 3 other guys looking at it when I bought it. And I'm like, well, I better get it before they buy it. I haven't used it yet. I got it bolted down to the bench, 4 different spots. I gotta put the motor in the right place and bolt it down. But it works. You just plug it in, flip the switch, and it turns on. For $10, can't beat it. And then all those are sitting there because I want to eventually make bonds out of bottles, bottle bonds. And then got her that I trash picked. Got my 1x32. I think that's a 1x32. No, 1x36, sorry. No, 1x30. It's actually 1x30. I use that for sharpening. Got this one I don't use much, 1x48 maybe, or something like that. And the one we're on, which is a 6-inch grinder with modification to fit a 2x36 belt. And I'm working on my 2x72 right now. Gotta get her finished. Got a lot of work you gotta do on that thing. But right now, this is what we got. Let you guys back in here. Sorry about the jiggling. This tripod sucks. How many times do I gotta say this tripod sucks? Hell. Hey Luca, how you doing? Glad you could join in. I'll be back to work in a second. Need a second for my hands. And my drinks. Good, good. Hey guys, when I turn the belt sander on, is it super loud? Or does the microphone kind of dull it out and not make, like, is it ear blasting or is it just white noise? Thank you, thank you. I'm working on a couple of Damascus knives right now. This one this is my first one I made out of these pieces, and the thicknesses were all wonky, so I just had to go through and straighten that out. And now I gotta take this edge off, and I gotta bevel it. So I'm gonna take it from being a knife. I'm gonna take the tane and bend it around so it's an herb chopper with the handle up here. You can rock it on your cutting board. Here, I'll turn it on. Oh, really? Okay. I figure it would have been deafeningly loud. It's pretty loud here in the workshop. Here, I'll show you because you just joined in and it seems to get a lot of lights when I show it. I'll go over it quickly. Bar of steel. Started off 11 pounds, now it's 9 pounds. You can see the ball bearings in it. It's a piece of Damascus. See the small balls down here, large balls. Go through and grind the cracks out. Maybe cut it right here and split it into 2 bars. I'm going to forge it down from 5/8 down to 1/8 of an inch. Hopefully 4 inches wide. I think right now it's about 3 1/4. And then I'm going to make a bunch of whittling knives, chef's knives, and filleting knives out of the same bar of steel. It's the biggest piece I've made yet, by far. Usually they're only around 4 or 5 pounds. Like I said, this started off at 11 pounds. It's quite hard to handle. And then just one more time, I'm making this Viking sax. It's about done, but I haven't finished it because there's a nasty warp in the blade. I'm not sure who wants to buy a warped blade. I took it too thin before heat treat, and I can't fix this no matter what I try. So, but it's almost done. It's got a nice feel, nice look, but a nasty warp. Kind of an S-shaped warp, honestly. Thank you, thank you. Man, it's cold out here. Now you can see a little better how I plan to curve the blade around, or curve the chain around, make it into an herb chopper. Now that I got that off there. I'm kind of disappointed. I really wanted to make this into a knife, but it's just not structurally there to be a knife. This is my first piece I made, so I had to weld it a bunch of times to fix the cracking. And actually, you can still see a hint of it right there. I hope it doesn't crack when I go to bend it. It might, but These aren't cracks, those are just dents. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really, in the intended use of a sax, I mean, Vikings were poor farmers, and the sax is a Viking knife. So this is a poor farmer's knife, but it's just not up to my. I mean, I put a ton of time into the hollow grind on this. You can see, and more so in the reflection. I put a ton of time into this knife just to have it warp like that. But really, I mean, that's not going to affect how it's used. It shouldn't. Still a badass knife, and it's huge. So you're not gonna be carrying that in your pocket. That is a farm knife. Hey, if you're interested in this, let me know, and I'll finish it up for you, and I'll ship it to you, and I'll give you a good price on it if you're actually interested in that. Lower than normal, because I can't sell it normally. I can't sell it to somebody that's looking for perfection. It is a little thin, so if you want to like split a log, batoning it or something, it might be a little too thin for that. But if you're cutting leather, cutting hay, carving a piece of wood, it should be fine. I mean, it's strong. It's a piece of leaf spring, piece of heat treated leaf spring, so it's got a bit of flex to it. But it's not going to bend or snap unless you abuse it. And the handle I'm going to put on it are these pieces of ironwood. Very tough wood. Gonna put these scales on it like that, maybe, possibly. It's going to be a sick knife when it's done. All right. My email is just my username at Gmail. Shoot me an email and we'll talk about it. Or go to my website. My email's listed on my website too. So I am working on this piece of Damascus. It was originally going to be a knife, but now it's going to be an herb chopper. So I'm working on the blade, and then I'll heat up this section with the oxyacetylene torch and curve it around. So the handle is up here. You can use it on your cutting board. Cut up your herbs. And then I got a second piece here. I'm not very happy with the shape of it, so I want to change it up a bit, but that's the second piece. I got about 30 pounds, 35 pounds more of Damascus off screen. Ulu? That's African, right? Ulu. Right? How long you had that knife, Luca? I'm just taking a brief break here because my fingers keep getting cold, but I'm still here. Inuit? Okay. Yeah, if not, Luca, I'll see you around and I'll mention it. See, I'm not as well educated on all my terminology as I should be. I can look at something and know about it, but if you ask me what it's called, I probably won't know. Bob, I don't think I've seen you here before. I hope you subscribe and I hope you enjoy the content. I'm trying to be more and more active, trying to get up to 500 subs. No eye protection, no hand protection. Usually I work at, like, when it's not 20 degrees out, I work in a tank top and sandals and shorts. PPE is overrated. Yeah, that'll do it, Luca. 20 years of sharpening? Yeah, it's a fillet knife. And if you sharpen like my dad does, my dad sharpens with a bench grinder. So that takes a lot of material off. Okay, so Bob, I get a lot of questions about why I have coke nails. And the number one reason why I have coke nails is if I get something in my eye, I don't do coke. If I get something in my eye, I go inside, I clean off my coke nail, and I look in the mirror and I pick the chip out of my eye. It's never been an issue. These work better than safety glasses do. Safety glasses seem to divert the airflow, and I seem to get more chips in my eyes when I wear safety glasses. I get less without them, and it's easier. It's easy as hell to pick them out. I get all kinds of shit in my eyes, and it never bothers me. In fact, here, take a look at my shirt. I don't know if you'll see it. Safety third. One of my viewers just sent that to me because I never wear PPE. Oh, that's good. Well, what did your grandpa use on that night? Did he use a strap or did he use a bench grinder? Sorry, guys, I'll be right back to work in just a second. I will not bend the knee to your PPE. I don't need PPE. God, it's cold out here. I'm not even warming up anymore. My fingers are cold. I cannot feel my hands. Oh my god. You think with the hot steel, they'd be warm, but no. I feel like icebergs. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I hate bench grinders. Here's where we're at right now. My hands are completely numb. This is torture. Why are you guys making me do this? It's too cold. It'll be 30 degrees warmer tomorrow. Oh my god, I can't do this. I'm trying. It's not working. Hold on, I'm gonna take them inside my jacket, put them on my chest. Oh my god. Oh, that hurts. I have frostbite tomorrow. What if I chicken out on you guys and can't keep going? What if I end the stream early? Because I'm cold. Here, look at my breath. Right? In every way imaginable. Tomorrow I'm gonna go work on my forge and my belt sander. Try to get those, well, not done, but close to done. I'd be upset. I'd be upset that I didn't go longer. Can't let the can't let Mother Earth get to me. I gotta be tougher. A blacksmith, damn it. What I need is my forge in here. If I had my forge on, it'd be so hot. Like I'd have to be topless to survive. That forge puts out a lot of heat, but it's not here right now. Oh, now the sleeves of my jacket are cold too. Oh, I put my arms back through the sleeves, and those are freezing cold now. Can't win. Right? Always. You get like 5 nice days a year. Maybe. If you're lucky, you get 5 nice days. The other 360 are sent from Satan himself. especially when you live next to a lake. I recommend to nobody living next to a lake. It's so cold my lighter won't even light. Oh, yeah, see? That's how you know it's cold. The gas doesn't light. A swamp? That doesn't sound fun. Sounds like a lot of mosquitoes. Notice how that guy hasn't sent another message since I said I won't wear safety glasses. Was he a troll or is he genuinely concerned about my safety? I think he was a troll, honestly. Maybe. I gotta learn how to keep mosquitoes away. I hate mosquitoes. Worst insect there is. Not my least favorite, but they are the worst. There's some insects that give me nightmares just looking at them. Even though they do no harm, I just don't want to see them. But all I can do is about 5 minutes at a time, and my grinds aren't exactly coming out the way I want them to. I'm a little uneven, a little unsteady. See, I can't even toss a knife without dropping it. Ron, how you doing, dude? Yeah, it will make a big difference. At least I'm just roughing it right now, so any mistakes I make, I should be able to fix. I also got this other one. I still don't know what shape I want to do with that because that's not a good shape. That shape doesn't make me happy. It makes me depressed. I want to fix that shape. Here's another look, Luca, if you are really interested. I left the end fish lipped. I kind of wanted to. Maybe you'd like that better, or maybe you wouldn't. I thought it looks cool with the rough, without grinding the back of this, just leaving it fish lipped, making the handles either match it or come up short and put a lanyard hole in there. Because, I mean, the handle's plenty big enough. You don't need all that. Even my hands are pretty large. You don't need all that space. So I was thinking either leaving it like that or making the handles come up short. The handle scales. All right. Well, then this one will be yours. If you're interested, that's yours. You can tell me if you have any pointers on how to finish it up, what you like to see. Definitely give me pointers. Oh, I don't know how much longer I can do this cold. I can make a sheath for it if you want. I got leather and stuff. I've only made one sheath before, so I'm not real good at it. But if you wanted something basic, I could get that done. Uh-oh. I see a problem. No, I don't. Wait, yes, I do. Hold on. Why are you disappearing on me? Hold on, let me see if I can bring it back to show you guys. Nope, we're good. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. No, we're good. Holy crap, that's scary. I thought I just saw a crack form along here and here, but upon further inspection, there is no crack. And it's just the pattern of the steel. I really thought I had a badly cracked blade and this piece would be scrap after all this work. But that's where we are now. It's not very even. My fingers are numb again, especially my left hand. Can't feel my left hand. It should hold an awesome edge. I think I got the heat. I'm pretty certain I got the heat treat down right on that leaf spring. I might have to call it a night. I mean, I might come back out when I warm up, but I can't promise it. So might have to call it a night. I am suffering out here. I've been out here for an hour and a half. 20-degree garage where you can see your breath form. And then have this thing spinning at several thousand RPM, spitting air off at your hands, making them more numb. Yeah, yeah, it would be. Plus the hollow grind, it should hold up through sharpening because it's the same thickness all the way from the edge to right about there. It's the same thickness all the way back, real thin. That thin back to here. That's why I say you probably shouldn't chop wood with it. It's probably not meant for chopping wood. But just about everything else on the farm it would handle really well. And that's why it warped. It warped because I made it way too thin before heat treat. Yeah. Sharpen it and be a real fine slicer. Honestly, you could probably use it on tomatoes when it's done. I mean, you have a wavy tomato, but be a very thin, wavy tomato. I was gonna keep that knife for myself because I figure with it being warped, nobody's ever gonna buy it, and I like the look of it. So I was gonna keep it for myself. But if you want it, it's absolutely yours. That's why I didn't finish it. I'm like, nobody's gonna buy it. I'm too much of a perfectionist. I want everything on every piece to be perfect. That it's just not possible. We both mentioned perfectionism at the same time. Man, even my toes are going numb at this point. Um, Luca, I'm gonna end the stream, but if you click on this description, my website should be linked. And you can go to contact, and my email's listed. Reach out to me, and then I'll shoot you an email back about details on that, and we can get that done. But I think for tonight, I'm done out here in the garage. Like I said, I might come back out, but I can't promise it. Yeah, and time for me to feed my dog too. My dog's starving. So, eight of you that hung out. I think it was eight most of the way through. So the eight of you that hung out, appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you have a great night. Jen, Luca, Shoops is probably asleep in front of his TV. I'd bet. All right. I just meant so I had your email, but that's fine. Talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Peace.